think Italy is just gonna shit the bed again. They're gonna be too busy preparing the pasta and not enough on the game.
Oh my
Speaking
god.
of pasta, Jesus.
Guys,
Enjoy.
Beauties. What's up? What's up, Benzini? Cheers to the UK boys.
You always tell me that it's all up in my head. You got me overlooking all of my options. You got me going back and forth with my conscience. All up in my bed. You always seen that.
Episode 18 of Pitchmasters FC, joined by the normal squad, Steve, Soraya, and Benzini, and the guy who keeps coming back. Friend of the program, we got Will, Spacemuseumgram, to join us. We got some heavy soccer talk today, so we figured we'd actually tap in somebody that knows what he's talking about. Got a good little episode loading up for you here, boys. But want to get into the first conversation. We're going to be talking about right backs, something true and dear to my heart. Trent Alexander-Arnold lighting up the Premier League right now. And I just want to make it a pretty open conversation, but we can start it off with, where do you guys rank Trent all-time, just worldly right now, or in the Premier League? What do you guys rate him at right now, all-time in the Premier League?
I think Steve's dog thinks it's quite bullshit that you're putting.
Yeah, I think she just called bullshit on you.
Yeah. So we're having this discussion. I think Kyle Walker exceeds Trent as a given. I don't think that's a conversation faster, quicker. I think one of the most locked down Premier League history. I think more of the conversation. I brought this up on a poll the other day in stream. The discussion between Trent and Reece James as a more solid defender in prime form, not including sort of the individual team success, right? So Trent kind of gets paired up with Liverpool as a whole in the team success in the Champions League, the Premier League. I think a lot of people, because of that recency bias, think that Trent is better. But statistically, I think James is more locked down and provides more for his team.
When he's healthy.
When he's healthy. With that said, the dude is broken at all times, and it's not one thing; it's the next. So, to answer your question, though, I'm going Kyle Walker. I think I'm done with the Trent and Reece discussion. I'm just saying Kyle Walker.
You think Kyle Walker right now still, though?
Oh, at this given time or all time?
You're going all time? Okay. Yeah, I was going to say right now, Kyle Walker's not the player he was.
The best right back in the league at this current moment? Is that what you're asking, Alex?
It was opened up. We can do league right now. I mean, for obviously Will's over there in the UK. I want to hear his opinion on it. But, I mean, you guys know where I obviously was saying. I think Trent has absolutely revolutionized the position, period. I think it's so cool for the fact that not only is he doing it at Liverpool, yes, he's had a stellar back line. I mean, you had the prime of Virgil van Dijk to your side with the, front three that he had, making life a little bit easier on the defensive side. But the fact that he's done it with one club consistently throughout the entirety of his career, I think is super special. And just, we can talk about all these other guys, Reece James, the stats, but none of these guys are doing what he does offensively. He is a walking highlight reel. And we can talk about his defensive issues, some of the basics of defending, but I think it all is negated by the fact that the passes he makes, the free kicks that he has, that offensive passing ability is something that none of these other guys have. And when it comes to Reece James, for me, it's availability is reliability, man. If you're not on the field, what have you done for me lately? And if you're always getting hurt, then that's unfortunately a part of the conversation. Kyle Walker is an absolute demon and certainly deserves his spot on, Mount Rushmore of right backs, at least just in the Premier League. But he's kind of just a speed demon. He runs up and down. His athletic ability is pretty crazy. His ability to track back after getting forward. But that's where I sit with it. I think Trent, all time, honestly, when it's said and done, he's only 26, is going to be the greatest right back to have ever done it.
That's a little suspect.
There's no bias there, though, right?
Yeah, it's
like Will talking about Garnacho and CR7 in the same breath, but
full disclosure, I do think he's probably the best right back right now, but that's just absolute blasphemy saying when his career is said and done, the guy's 26 years old, he's the best He could get hurt tomorrow. That's like crazy. You got to wait till he's at least 30 to start saying stuff like that. You also have to remember he's gone through stretches where he was like people hated him too. Like it's not like he's been
just last year. Last year was a very suspect year, but that was the entire team. Like this resurgence this year.
Yeah, he cut his hair and all of a sudden he changed.
So because of this resurgence, he's the greatest right back of all time. That's a very good.
I said when it's all said and done, if he continues on a career path.
Oh, now you're going to add
caveats.
Yeah,
no caveats. That's what I said in the beginning. Run it back.
Cut and dry that he was the best.
The reason we're having this discussion, though, is because he's doing so well now. And actually, I asked Dingle the other day. He's like a huge Reece James fan. PCs him and has a very good case statistically as to why Reece is better. But it's the same thing saying, like, in terms of form and everything, in top form, how long did that actually last? And will he come back and continue to perform at his, like, peak season? But I think Trent's just having a couple of good games back-to-back, and that's what's bringing up the conversation. But
what about, what's his name, though? Kieran Trippier. Like, if you want to go stat, he's destroying. Like, this year, I think he has 7 assists this year. And what about his set piece? His set piece, like, I mean...
Acumen.
Yeah, exactly. That's the word I was looking for. But I don't know. I don't know. Like it is what it is. Kenny Tete too. Fulham.
Yeah, I definitely think Trippier's better than Trent. Trent's having a good season, so that's why people are talking about him. But I still don't classify him as like a tier like best player of the world conversation, best defenders in the world. He just doesn't really. He hasn't done enough to sort of justify that. And I mean, Trippier had a really good season, last season, carried Newcastle, and is doing the same this season. I think that's like Newcastle's a worse team than Liverpool, so I feel like Trippier's doing more for his team than Trent.
That's a good. Yeah, I didn't even think to
the defending of Trent. I know I'm a Man United fan, but I would honestly say Wan-Bissaka is a better defender than Trent. Not attacking.
That's not even clear. Wan-Bissaka is the tackling king, bro.
Exactly. So I mean, Trent's good at like going forward, but he's still not like upper tier. Kyle Walker and Trippier are still better.
Mm-hmm.
Up to defending, Kyle Walker again is better, faster, stronger on the ball. He's clutched it so many times for Man City, and then obviously you've got players like Wan-Bissaka, who, I mean, he's got some of the best sliding highlights like in the whole Premier League.
The only thing I'll add into that is like both of those guys, Trippier and Walker, are both 33 years old. And when you think about players that are in their prime, the age that they're at, like he's entering his prime right now. Like he's probably like just getting into it. That 24, 25 is where you really start to feel, but he's been doing things like this, the free kicks, the assists, the passing. And so he is in incredible form right now. So that's why we're talking about it. But if he's just unlocking like this full potential now as he's entering his prime, like there's nothing that tells me he's going to be slowing down. And then it really is, it's the good with the bad. So it's like there's always going to be the caveat that his defending is a little suspect. But when you look at the position, what it has meant throughout the entirety of the game, like there's just no one that has done what he has the capability of doing, like for me personally.
Well, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, another reason why I don't like Trent personally, just full disclosure, because of the corner that they did in the Champions League. I thought that was
Really?
scummy.
You didn't like that? Really?
No, scummy? What is he supposed to wait for an invitation for them to get set up?
If you watch the clip back, they weren't ready for it. And I know you can say, oh yeah, that's the point of the game, but I've probably watched like hundreds of thousands of corners, and I've never seen them just like when obviously they're getting ready to sort of prepare for the corner, and then they just whip it in. I just thought, I don't know, maybe it's just an unpopular opinion, but there's something wrong about that because they were so off guard, and I just felt like, I don't know.
Well, it's also like a quick throw-in, right? Like a quick throw-in. The ball goes out.
But you just don't see quick corners taken. Like he literally says it's like corner taken quickly, but I just felt it was just a bit like, I don't know.
I mean, Spurs ball boy that got the ball to the one player.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that was class.
That was so good. But again, that one was kind of weird because it didn't involve like another person. It involved like a Spurs home field advantage, a player, a ball boy who like whipped it quickly. If that's whoever they were playing at the time. If that's somebody else, the other team, he's not going to give that like rapid pass to the chest to kind of propel them forward. But I didn't even think about Kieran Trippier in the discussion yesterday, and that's interesting you bring that up because he won with Atletico as well. I think he won the league with them or some trophy. And yeah, he provides the same, I think at least I imagine the same number of assists. To me, to have Trent Alexander-Arnold on a free kick outside the box or Trippier makes no difference. I think they're both equally proficient at it. But
Trippier is probably better historically.
Probably converts more actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true entirely, but then I guess the only other thing though is like, aside from the actual numbers, whatever they may be, it's like how does that individual player fit into the sort of chemistry and non-statistical side of the game, the flow and chem of the game, where Trent just is that kind of glue for Liverpool exclusively, where if you do put him into another team like fucking Burnley, who sit all the way back and play long ball, or I mean before Vincent Kompany, he obviously would be like, he wouldn't be the guy, right? Whereas like someone else like Walker would be a better option. But
yeah, that's because it's traditional. But imagine him in Ange ball, you know, it's like the service that he's dishing up.
For that. Yeah, that's a good point.
It's all to the. I mean, I get what you're saying with the system. I think for me, and completely open this up to whatever you guys want to talk about after this, is looking at like, I mean, I can't speak to Trippier as much, but specifically with Kyle Walker, it's you look at what his teams have been compared to Liverpool. While Liverpool certainly have had great players and still have, he's had prime Virgil van Dijk, which at one point was like the greatest defender on this planet. But you look at like Kyle Walker, that prime Vertonghen and Alderweireld, Danny Rose backline was freaking elite for a good period of time for me. Like you have that comfortability, and then he goes to Manchester City, which is just a star-studded, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars team year after year after year. When you got like Joel Matip and Joe Gomez for Trent, you know, coming in and out, it's a little bit different for me personally with that part of it. So I think he's had a little bit more to overcome.
Just I mean, this is the main thing is they both play for England, right? And we can go around the room and just ask, who would you rather have as your right back, Trippier or Trent? Me personally, I'd rather have Trippier.
For what does Trippier offer that Trent doesn't? You think at this point?
Better
his
team chemistry,
and his defense is better.
Better defender, better defender.
Yeah.
Too.
I mean, at the end of the day,
more physical.
He is a defender. That's the position. You know what I mean? If you can't do that, you might as well just be a winger instead of, you know, which he basically almost is at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I'm completely biased. I'm taking Trent all day. Just what he can do offensively is just so.
But Trippier scored free kicks. I think I can't remember, but I think he did score a free kick in the World Cup. I know he didn't.
For sure. His set pieces are so good. Trippier's set pieces are worldly, but it's the passing and his vision, man. Like when he's going forward with the ball, his ability to ping it across the field to Luis Diaz or whoever over there, Sadio Mane in the day when it was him making the runs forward, like that is the stuff where you're watching it mid-game and a casual fan that doesn't really enjoy that part of the game. For me, I'm just like, oof, I love that. Love that.
I mean, I'm going to be completely honest. I don't watch a lot of Liverpool. I did watch this last game because they were playing Fulham. And
that was a really good game.
Yeah, no, that was an incredible game. But I will say, like, Trent was really good, but I didn't watch that game, and I wasn't, like, mind-blown. I wasn't like, this guy's the greatest right back I've seen in my entire life. And it was, like, one of his best games of the season. So, like,
banger free kick, you know.
But. Yeah, but I'm just saying, you know, and also on the stat sheet, that was an own goal. So, I don't know.
Yeah. It's true. It was an own goal.
Yeah, it was an own goal, so who cares?
You want to talk about stats, Alex? There's one for you, bro.
Is Trent currently the number one pick? Is he the guy right now or no? Like, is he playing
for
England? Yeah, is he
for England? No.
No, Trippier.
It is Trippier.
It is Trippier.
It'll be Trippier over for the Euros.
Trippier and Walker over him.
Yeah, Walker too.
Walker will be a centre back though.
That makes
sense. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he just plays center. And who else? Stones?
No, it'll be Harry Maguire.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about him. I always forget about him.
Yeah.
That is crazy. He's the first choice.
Yeah, John Stones
he plays great
CDM.
for them.
Where are your confidence levels right now looking into the Euros and even 2026 World Cup with Jude, Harry, and kind of the optimism? Yeah, sure.
I honestly think we're going to win the Euros, and I said we were going to win the World Cup, and I was super confident. But Harry Kane, who is the worst he's my least favorite player. Misses a penalty.
Wait. What about Marcus Rashford?
I mean, Rashford didn't miss the penalty in the 85th minute against France. I think we could have beaten Argentina as well. I really, really do think we could have beaten Argentina, but Harry Kane misses a penalty in the 85th minute. And I literally, like, when that game was on, I was working. I sped home. I was probably doing like 90 miles an hour. And then I just gotten home just for the penalty, and I sat down, watched it, and I was so angry. I mean,
yeah, imagine rushing home from work, speeding, and then just, sitting down on the couch. First thing you do is turn the game on. Kane skies it.
I was extremely angry because we're so bad with penalties. I mean, the Euros before that, obviously, I think it was Saka,
Sancho and Rashford.
Sancho and Rashford.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. I'm not even an England fan, and I will never forget that one. It was ridiculous.
That's kind of a tough decision on Southgate. You look back at that call, it's like
they were all like what, 18, 19, 20, 21. These guys were like so young at the time.
I mean, this is not even like funny to even bring up, but like my record in choosing guys to take penalties is actually atrocious. Like when I go into full extra time and I've gone through it, when I'm in like tournaments or playoffs, like I do not have a good record when I choose. So I've gotten into the habit at the younger age is just like kind of analyzing the situation and the players, kind of letting them tell me who's ready to step up, because there's been so many moments where we're practicing penalties. There's a guy who goes side net, side net, side net. But then when the moment comes and you pick the guy and he's got like deer in the headlights type look, and it's just the moment gets too big. So we don't need to get deep into it, but it was just funny thinking back to that. Like you choose a 19-year-old to like step up in that big moment. And I'm sure when it's all said and done, he'll look back at that as a big moment for him and how it made him grow. But sheesh, that was tough to watch.
I actually watched the Euro final with an English like fan, and we had a few beverages, and it went downhill very quickly after the penalty shootout.
Yeah,
that was bananas.
Yeah.
Well, with a little bit of the Euro qualifiers talk, we obviously had Mr. Spacemuseumgram on because we want to do a little simple prediction. We can have a little bit of talk on a couple of the groups if needed, but we're just going to run through the groups, pick our top two favorites. We'll start off with the playoff contenders. So what we're each going to do, and I'll list out the teams. We won't hold you too loosely to this because two of the playoff sets have like similar teams, so that still's got to be squared up. But basically what we'll do is I'll go through each playoff team. You'll give me who you think will finish in that playoff spot, and then we'll get over to the main groups, and you guys will give me your top two favorites for that. Good enough?
Sounds good.
Cool.
Sounds good.
All right. Playoff group pathway A. Here are the teams that you have a choice from, and A and B will have some teams that double up, so just have that in mind. Poland, Estonia, Wales, Finland, Ukraine, and Iceland. Finland, Ukraine, and Iceland are both in Group A and B, so keep that in mind. Johnny boy, who is your playoff A spot from that set of teams?
I mean, I haven't watched a lot of Euros qualifiers, to be honest. So, I mean, it's we're still like 6 months out. I mean, I feel like I just have to say that the team that comes to my mind immediately is just Poland. Number one, no brainer, just because of one man. Although he didn't really do too much in the World Cup last year for his team. Wales and Finland. I mean, Brennan Johnson. Come on, gotta go Wales. And Ukraine and Iceland. Who's on Ukraine and Iceland?
This is just one playoff set, so you're choosing one team.
Yeah, it's one team coming out. Yeah.
Oh, so how are the games working for that?
I couldn't figure it out either. Just spit a team out. That's what I was thinking.
You just need to choose one of these
teams. Johnson and Wales, come on.
Okay, Wales.
Are you serious?
No,
I was thinking Wales had a chance, but without Bale, you don't have. Yeah, Bale is like a Superman for Wales. If they don't have him, it's not the same team.
Well, Steve, who are you going with then, my friend?
Poland, hands down. That's not even close.
Benzini?
Lewandowski's going to come to the rescue.
Probably will.
Yeah, Poland.
Okay, Poland.
It's got to be Poland for sure.
I'm going with Wales. I think Brennan Johnson and the boys will find a way. I don't know. I'm sticking with Wales. I watched the games.
Alex just loves to pick underdogs.
No,
I
I'm
should have
saying.
picked like Finland. Why didn't you
I
do
watched
that?
the games. I watched the
Iceland.
games.
Iceland have like one of the best fans because it's such a small country.
Iceland is one of those teams that always didn't they make a run to the quarterfinals in the last Euros, or was that 2 Euros ago?
I think so. I think it was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, here's Group B. Israel will be taking on Ukraine. Israel versus Ukraine, but just choose one of them. I'll just make it easy. Israel, Ukraine, Iceland, Bosnia, or Finland.
2 countries in conflict there. Very interesting.
Yeah, that's
boy there.
Yeah.
Manor Solomon, the right winger that played for Fulham and now at Tottenham, is going to recover from injury and take Israel to a W out of the Path B.
Stevie boy.
I'm throwing my support behind Israel also.
Benzini.
What was it? What was the last team you said?
It was Ukraine, Iceland, Bosnia, Finland.
I'm going with Bosnia. And Edin Dzeko leading the line.
All right, Space Museum.
I'm going to go with Iceland.
Iceland wasn't an option there.
Yeah, it was.
Yes, it was.
Was it?
Yeah,
it was? Okay.
I'm going with Ukraine.
Hearing, Steve.
So yeah, I do have. I heard Israel. I was just like, here we go.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm just reaching into a hat right now and picking an egg out, and whatever it is, I'm saying. So
I picked Israel solely because I think it'll be a good story if they win.
Yeah.
That is it. Yeah.
All right, into Group C, we've got Georgia, Luxembourg, Greece, and Kazakhstan.
Havara Kavada.
Luxembourg. Maxime Chenot, center back. Look him up.
Zini.
No, I'm going with Georgia, baby, with Mamardarashvili in net.
I'm going to change my pick to Kazakhstan with Borat 3 goals out of the
group. Space, what do you got for us, brother?
I'm going to go with Greece.
I am also going with Greece. They had a very tough group with France and Netherlands, and they were able to keep a semi-low goal scorer against. So I'm
that's probably the team, because now I'm thinking about it too. They have a couple ballers in MLS, so that guy that plays for Papi Christos, whatever the hell you pronounce his name, he plays for Atlanta United. I think he was like 2 off the pace for Golden Boot in MLS. So
Greece have always been Andrea. I think didn't they win the 2004 Euros?
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah,
they did, and that was against Portugal, Ronaldo's first Euros.
Me and my buddies have a board for our betting that says don't sleep on the Greek team. So specifically because of that, I'm going with the Greek. Okay, now there's going to be a little bit more of a fun conversation here. The actual groups themselves. Group A, the host, Germany. I just got done watching the Prime Video All or Nothing on them, and it has been, when you look at it, kind of a sad recent run of form overall for the Germans. So they are just automatically qualified, didn't have to go through any qualifying of any sort. In their group is Scotland, who had a great run of form within their group. They finished second in their group, 17 goals for, 8 against. They are paired with Hungary, who finished first in their group, 16 goals for, 7 against. And then the Switzerland, 22 goals, 11 against. Sean, who is going to be your 2 that come out of that group?
I think number 1, I was going to say this. I didn't even know it was happening in Germany. So I was going Germany far regardless, just because I really enjoy watching Leroy Sané. And he's just got some insane flair. I think he's a top 5 player in the world right now, getting shadowed by some of the other big names. And I'm going to take Germany, obviously, in the 1, and then I'll go with Scotland, given their performance in the qualies.
Love that. Stevie boy.
Germany, I want to say this, though. They need that coach back that sniffs his nuts. The guy, he grabs his ball sack and sniffs his hand after. That guy was a winner. That's when Germany was doing stuff, though. As soon as they let go of him, shit hit the fan. But so I'm going Germany, and I'm going Scotland with Scott McTominay. He's gonna score some bangers.
Zini boy.
I think I'll hop on the bandwagon with the lads and go Germany, but I am also going to go for Hungary. Germany.
Love it.
I think Zobo is going to have a nice Euros.
I'm talking about, baby.
Space.
Germany. Musiala. I think they're going to have a good Euros. Got quite a young team and some good players. But I'm going to go Switzerland. I don't think Scotland are going to get through personally, and that's not just because I'm English and we have beef with the Scottish. I just feel like Switzerland. They've got, if Noah Okafor can be fit, I thought he was a really good young striker.
Yeah, they have a top goalie too in Kobel. So
does Shaqiri still get caps for them?
Over summer, yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Shaqiri, and then you've got Mbolo as well.
Mbolo, yeah.
Shaqiri does still play for them.
Yeah, he's
wow. He's one of those guys. He's sneaky good, like on a national level. I don't know why. There was a stat I think in the last World Cup. I think he was the only player there that scored in like the last 3 World Cups or something like that. I don't even think Ronaldo or
right.
Yeah, there's something about it, but he can't score in MLS. It's weird.
That's
I will be running with Germany and Hungary. Szoboszlai. It's incredible to watch. He's kind of like a Gareth Bale version for Hungary, man. Like his ability to take over a game, the way he plays, how aggressive he is, his free kicks, like his strike on the ball is so pretty. So I am going to be rocking with that. But it's good to see that the Switzerland gets at least a little love from somebody over here. Moving on to Group B. We got Spain, Croatia, Italy, and Albania. This is going to be a good one. Spain had a run in their group, 25 goals for 5 against. Croatia finished second. Kind of a tough group. They lost to Turkey in a big home match. They only had 13 goals for 4 against. Italy finished second in their group, I believe with England, if I'm not mistaken, 16 for 9 against. And then Albania finishing at the top of their group, 12 for 4 against. Sean, see what you got.
Is Gavi going to be fit for that or no?
No,
he's not.
He's toasted until 2024.
Wow,
like late. He's like 9 months or something like that.
Even though Italy are reigning champs, I'm going to go with Croatia and Spain. I'm going to take Croatia and Spain. Yeah, I think Croatia always finds a way to do well in big competitions.
All right, Stevie.
Upset alert: Italy and Croatia.
Wow.
Not Spain.
Nope. I don't think they're going to choke.
That's
like
very
dogs.
controversial.
They choked in the World Cup too. They choke artists. They do. Trust me.
In the group stages, though, I don't know.
I'm saying Croatia is always a formidable side, and for some reason Italy has.
Cup. Remember that Italy didn't qualify for the World Cup. Remember?
Yeah, no, and they won the last Euros. It's weird. They're one of those teams. They're one of those teams. Look at those
clear penalty against the Ukraine.
I don't know. Just look at the Italian roster. It's pretty deep. I don't know. It's weird if they're in form, they're one of the best teams in the world. It's just look at their roster. They could form 2 really good teams with their roster.
Do most of the Italian players play in the Serie A, or do they have players that go overseas into the Premier League and other leagues like that?
Well, most of the best ones aren't. Like Sandro Tonali would, is he going to be fit for that? He should be, right?
Well,
is he going to be allowed to play though?
Yeah.
Donnarumma. Why? Because was it gambling?
It was gambling.
I respect that.
Yeah, exactly. In Italy, they probably love him. They're probably like, he's...
that was Tonali. Tonali, right? Yeah.
There's a few other guys, too. That guy Zaniolo, I think, is suspect.
Bagoli
Moises Keane.
No. I mean, no, their team is... When healthy, their roster is pretty scary.
Ben, who are you rocking with, brother?
We're definitely rocking up with the Croatians. Little Jasko in the back, holding it down. Modric just commanding the midfield
with a walker.
I forget who the main man up top is, but those two are enough for me to get it through. And they're a very passionate side. They always fight a lot harder, I think, than some of the other teams.
Isn't that young kid their big guy up there now, Lord Meyer or whatever the fuck his name is? Supposed to be, right? Yeah, he's supposed to be pretty
really good. Mayor or whatever, yeah.
Lord Meyer, however it's pronounced. It's like LOVR.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Probably gonna go for Spain. I think Italy is just gonna shit the bed again. They're gonna be too busy preparing the pasta and not enough on the game.
Oh my god!
Pasta! Jesus!
Guy didn't take the pasta off.
Yeah, he's burning water right here.
His face too when he was
that'll be a great clip.
What happened?
Well, perfect timing.
I had steak before, so I still think there's a little bit of smoke in the air from the steak.
Jeez.
So,
What are you cooking the steak on? You go to George Foreman Grill in there or something? What's going on here?
yeah, I mean, I don't know, but at least my house isn't on fire. That wouldn't be ideal.
Okay.
At least that'd be great content. I'd record it.
It'll still be great. Your face was priceless, by the way, when it went off.
That's going on in the beginning of the pod when we have like a little cut intro. That's for sure. That's going to be the very beginning. So I love that. But who's your choice, brother? Group B. As he's flustered.
Italy and Spain.
Italy and Spain.
Croatia have had their run. I don't think they're gonna. I think
it's over as well.
Yeah.
I will be matching you completely there. I am going to be going with Italy and Spain on that as well. I think that their run is just from their group play. It was just not convincing, even at home. All right, into Group C, a little bit more of a, I don't know, not as much of a fun one, but it will have the old home country over here. So we will start with Will just to get his thoughts on the projections that he feels for this group. Group C, Slovenia finished second, 20 goals for, 9 against. Denmark was in the same group as Slovenia. They finished first in the group, 19 goals for, 10 against. Serbia, second in their group. England, who finished first in their group, 22 goals for, 4 against. Will, let's start with you for this one. Tell us how you're feeling about England going into this one.
I'm going to say Slovenia and Denmark.
Okay, beautiful.
I mean, England are going to win it. I think they're going to win the whole tournament, but I think they're going to top the group. They're just in such good form, and they've got such good chemistry. And the reason why England doesn't play well, if you have a look, we had Rooney, John Terry, Rio Ferdinand, literally the best English team, David Beckham, all on the same team. But the reason why they didn't do as well is because they just didn't have good chemistry. But this team does.
How do you know?
Oh, I'm good friends with them.
Okay, that's good to know.
I just see it on sort of social media and stuff. I don't know, but
how do you feel about South?
He doesn't know. He's just talking out of his ass.
No. I'm English.
This is our expert.
Social media.
Look what you're doing.
If you watch the England YouTube channel, you can see them always playing.
Who's coming out of the group with England then?
Yeah, England, and I'm going to put Denmark in as well. I think they're kind of rated.
Back to Sean.
So we had there's England, Slovenia, Denmark, and who's the fourth?
Serbia
with Dusan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, England and I think I do like Denmark as well. Pierre Emil Højbjerg, so I might match that. Højbjerg, of course.
Don't forget about Eriksson. He's a Spur. He's a Spur at heart.
He's getting a bit old. Eriksson.
Still a Spur at heart.
Will loves Eriksson.
I like Eriksson too.
It's okay.
Except he doesn't actually love Eriksson. That was the joke. But Steve, who you taking?
England, Denmark.
Oh God.
Maybe we'll see. Maybe Dusan will actually show up for this tournament because he was invisible in the World Cup. Man, people pumped the hell out of his cards.
Yeah.
I'm going England and Serbia. The Serbs are going to make it out. Feeling it. Out of just nothingness, just feeling it.
Yeah, I'll match the vibes there, Zini. I'll stick with you on that. We'll go England and Serbia for that. On to Group D. This would be your playoff A spot, so I'll make sure to remind you guys as I go through it. But playoff A spot, Netherlands, Austria, and France. This could be, depending on who comes out of Group A, a pretty difficult group. Netherlands and France were both in the same group, respectively finished first and second. France scored 29 goals, only had 3 against. Netherlands was 17-4, 7 against. Austria is in there. And then obviously Group A of the playoffs is Poland, Estonia, Wales, Finland, Ukraine, and Iceland. Sean, you picked Wales. Tell me who you are taking.
Netherlands and France.
Netherlands and France. Okay.
Yeah, Netherlands and France for me as well.
Stevie boy.
Netherlands and France. I think this is pretty cut and dry.
Yeah,
group.
France and Netherlands.
Yeah, it's tough to go against them. It just feels like Netherlands always leaves a little bit to be desired, but it would be pretty tough for them to not make it out of that group. So I'll be joining you guys on that. That was pretty easy. Group
Steven
E.
Bergwijn, right? Right, Sean? Steven Bergwijn's going to lead the line.
That's right, Stevie B. And Van de Ven, he'll be back. Van de Ven,
yeah, he will.
He's actually class.
Don't forget about
Frankie
Big
de
Virgil.
Jong.
That's Alex's butt buddy.
The GOAT. Group E, Belgium, Slovakia, Romania, and playoff B spot. Playoff B was Israel, Ukraine, Iceland, Bosnia, Finland. Belgium finished at the top of their group, 22 goals for, 4 against. Slovakia second in their group. Romania finished at the top of their group. They had a decent qualifying. We'll start with Mr. Shawnee Boy. Who are you taking out of those?
Belgium, and I don't know much about Slovakia and Romania. Does Haji, the son of Haji, play?
He is Romanian.
He's Romanian?
Son of Haji. He's like son of God?
Yeah, I'm going Haji in Romania, taking the 2 spot. Just because why not?
Romania's group was pretty cake. They had Switzerland, Israel, Belarus, Kosovo, and Andorra. But
Kosovo?
Israel...
Yeah. Kosovo?
Yes, that's a nation.
Kosovo. No, you just said Kosovo. It's Kosovo.
Yeah. Classic American over here. Can't pronounce a country. Israel was your playoff spot. Do you have faith in Israel
I'm gonna go Romania and Belgium.
Cool.
Yeah.
Steve.
I'm going Belgium and Slovakia. I don't know if I can name anybody on Slovakia, but just for lack of a better team to pick, Belgium disappointed me in the World Cup, so Belgium and Slovakia.
Zini.
I'm also going Belgium and Slovakia, but unlike Steve, I do know 2 players on the team: Dubravka and Skriniar.
Dubravka. I knew him, but I mean,
come on.
I meant like actual guys that weren't in net. Somebody that can score.
Do you know Marek Rodak? He's a Fulham player, bro. Come on. He's a goalie as well. You call yourself a Fulham fan, you don't know who Marek Rodak is? Come on, Steve.
He's got the whole team sheet on his right. Just scroll through.
Yeah. Zini definitely has every team sheet.
Got to come prepared.
Will, who you taking, brother?
I'm going to take Belgium for sure. And I'm going to take Romania.
Beautiful. I will be joining Sean and Will on that one. Gotta assume that those 2 teams are gonna come out of that group. Last group, boys. It's a heater. Turkey, playoff spot C, Portugal, and Czech Republic. Turkey finished at the top of their group with Croatia, 14 goals for, 7 against. Playoff C spot is Georgia, Luxembourg, Greece, and Kazakhstan. Portugal and obviously Czech Republic both finished first and second respectively. Portugal scored a whopping 36 goals with only 2 against. Czechia 12 for, 6 against. Sean, who you rocking with there? Your Group C choice was Kazakhstan.
Borat taking the 1 spot and then Ronaldo taking the 2. Next. I think I'll go Turkey versus Czech. It's a tough one. Yeah, I don't know. I'll go with the Turkish side. Something different.
Yeah.
Portugal, Turkey.
Stevie boy.
I'm going to go Czech with Adam Plosek, or whatever the hell his name is.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't have them 1 though. I have CR7 and Losek. I'm going by the players on the team, not the countries.
Zini.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Turkish side. Çalhanoğlu, leading the midfield. And then I'm going to go with Portugal. Çalhanoğlu.
Oh, yeah, that should be fun. Watch Arda.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't think
Space Museum.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with CR7's team. And I'm also going to go with Turkey because they're fans. Solely for the fans. They've got like the most insane fan base in sort of the world. So I feel like they'll be able to carry some of the weight for the team.
Well, what could go wrong with those predictions? Because I'm also on Portugal and Turkey. At least Steve is differentiated from it, so it's not like it's just straight across the board 100%. But I don't see a world where Portugal and Turkey don't make it out of it. Those are our predictions. Maybe we'll wager a little something, a point system to get into it. But we'll post something about it and try to keep track of it as we get a deep dive into the Euros when they come back around. into promotion and relegation. This might be Will's first promotion and relegation to be involved in. Something good that happened in the world or to yourself, something bad that happened in the world or to yourselves. We'll start off with Mr. Sean. Give us your promotion or your relegation.
So I'll start with my relegation, which was almost the best promotion. Almost pulled the biggest footy card ever pulled in the footy community on Whatnot the other day when I got a green checkerboard field level from 2017 Select for PSG, and it was not Kylian Mbappe, it was Mata, some like Thiago Mata guy. So that was heart wrenching because the out of 10 just did bits on Golden Auction, and the out of 5 would have been monstrous. So that didn't happen. So that was my relegation because it was heart wrenching and just very sad because it could have been. And then promotion, something again that is a strange sort of event. Had to be was it Simon Hooper? Is that who the referee was? Whoever made that call to stop the advantage during the City Tottenham game. Yeah, it was very unlucky for City, but very, very positive sort of takeaway for Tottenham to get a point and hopefully start to regain some sort of form despite all the injuries. So I got to go to promo for the draw up in the north.
I would definitely love to get Will's temperature from the UK perspective, just in general, that situation or him specifically as a referee is being talked about over there. Because it's like, that was for me an egregious, like just trying to fix the mistake. Like he played advantage thinking maybe Holland was, I don't know what he was thinking. He's clearly honestly a dumbass just from the series of games that he's had this year. But then you just completely just pull it away because you don't want them to have a obvious goal scoring opportunity. What's the temperature over in the UK, or what do you feel about it?
If I'm honest, Man City have no fans. Is someone being arrested right now?
Yeah, where is that coming from? It's got to be Alex.
It's Alex.
Yeah,
That's New York City, right? Are you in New York City, Alex?
Nah, Naptown.
He wishes.
Shout out Indianapolis. I don't.
Indianapolis, okay.
I don't.
But yeah, I mean, Man City don't really have any fans, so whenever something happens to Man City, there's like the usual sort of like big outlets like BBC and like 433 and stuff. They'll post something, but then it just dies off super quick because they don't have a fan base, and all their fans are just sort of like overseas or like just not in sort of the UK sort of football community. And I know that sounds really harsh, but it's true. They literally don't sell out games. And then Man United will sell out a game against Sheffield in 20 minutes. And it's the same for like Liverpool and like even the smaller teams, they'll still sell out, but just Man City just won't. So yeah, I mean, they probably should have just let it play on. And I think Jack Grealish could have scored, but he could have missed. So that is obviously, people aren't realising, they're thinking it's a free goal, but I mean, he could have still missed. But yeah, it's just, I mean, it's kind of boring. Whenever something happens to Man City, like, who cares? They're so good, and no one can really touch them. They've got such a solid team. Every player is just elite. That is just a bit like, all right, well, unlucky for them, I guess. It's just literally everyone for second place. They're fighting for second place.
Yep.
Except for this year, it feels like a little bit more of a race that's going to be open. But at the end, you know,
you'll see at the end, it will just be, it's just be Man City.
Yeah, but what do you think about the fact that the Premier League only holds English referees? Like, why? Do you like that? Do you feel like they should be taking the best referees like from the world? Like, do you think it kind of hurts the refereeing quality overall, or do you think it would just kind of be the same regardless?
I mean, I would say that the English have the best referees because we have sort of referee schools like in the country, and I mean, just look at Spain. Barcelona paid, I think it was 7 million or something to referees. That is just insane. That wouldn't happen in the UK. And the same with Italy. I can't remember if it was Italy or something. There was a referee in that World Cup against Korea, I think. Does anyone remember?
Mm-hmm.
And Korea knocked Italy out, and then the Italian mafia tried to like kill the referee. That's a real
sounds story. Right. As soon as you said something about Italy and like fixing games, that sounds about right.
No, it was the opposite. It was
no, yeah, but it's still Sounds right.
Yeah. Definitely look into that because I think it was like the craziest game. Like they would I think it was the Koreans maybe. They would like double foot slide tackle in, and it wouldn't even be called as a foul. And they ended up winning and knocking Italy out of the World Cup. And then like the Italian mafia, sort of, they like wanted to like kidnap the ref. That is a true story. I can't remember everything, but it's definitely worth looking at. But yeah, I mean, stick with English refs. I think it's an English league, and I don't think they're that bad.
Stevie boy, you want to get into your promotion and relegation, mate?
All right, promotion. The MLS paper flagship product, better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be pretty shit. I opened like 3 boxes, did pretty well. Nothing like crazy, but Christian Fletcher, I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. I pulled a gold auto to 50, pretty decent card. Stuff like, what is so funny? What is so funny?
You just made me think of a fun, nothing with you, but just a good relegation that has to do with our podcast member. It's not against you.
I can't even say how I did in the box out. This clown laughing at me.
Think about a podcast member that we have here that would have to do with flagship. That there was just try to think of what a funny relegation would be.
Oh yeah, that would be kind of funny.
That is why I was giggling.
Yeah, I don't think anybody else gets it. But Christian Fletcher gold auto I pulled. So the product ended up being better than I thought it was going to be. So that's my promo. I'm excited. It's a good product. And my relegation is I'm starting to feel pretty sick. I don't know if you guys can hear it in my voice, but I had some English tea before I came on to like kind of warm up my throat a little bit. So I actually smuggled it back from London. It was like in my hotel. I like grabbed it and threw it in one of my shoes and smuggled it in. It's organic English breakfast tea. So that's my promo on relegation. So I don't have anything better for you guys this week, but not that eventful.
Benzini.
All right, so the promotion for Benzini this week was I got 85 points in Fantasy Premier League this week. What a week for me, man. Up to 69th place. We're no longer in the 100 and below. So I was happy with that. Ben Mee getting a 14-point week for me. I think he has 15 total points the whole year. So it's definitely positive. The relegation is a positive, but also a negative. So my dad recently got a new pup, and he was a bit excited when I arrived to meet him for the first time, and he peed all over my arm.
That sounds very familiar to your relegation last week involving going out in the yard. You have a lot of doggo problems, it sounds like.
Yeah.
You know what's funny?
Thanks for noticing, Sean.
You know what's funny? I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, who's training these dogs that like Zini's dogs having accidents and it's like 17 years old? Like, you guys training this dog or what?
This dog was a puppy that my dad got. So
okay,
I was just meeting him for the first time. Okay. The previous weekend was a misstep in the yard, stepping onto a pillow of you know what. That's all I got.
My promotion is unique hairstyles in the soccer game. While it looked a little goofy, Darwin Nunez had the sweet braids going on. And I just feel like when you look at the classics of when you're watching old highlights, like guys had really unique hairstyles, the crazy faux hawks and color. So I would just love, like, even though it's not that wild that he just had braids, it would be sick if like guys really dove back into having like El Shaarawy, different stuff like that, like some really cool, fun hairstyles. When I would like go to the barber when I was younger, like I'd always look up soccer haircuts, like to try and find something to throw on there. But my 2 relegations now, one just got added in, but overpriced Messi spots in Topps flagship. One of our very own got blasted on Instagram for having the most expensive Messi spot in the entirety of the breaking community.
It's what it is. You hit 3 Messis. Did well.
I can see his face.
Did well.
How much was that?
$219.
And how much cheapest was like $160 or something.
It was a case, right?
Yeah, for the whole case.
Okay, it was about to get bad if he was like, no, a half case or something.
No, it was for 1 box actually.
Pay the man.
What was the lowest?
160.
It's pretty cheap, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're counting for fees. So.
I respect that, Benzini. I respect that.
Yeah, so it is what it is. Ran 1 case 1 time, and we're still at the top of the list, so we're feeling good.
My other relegation, speaking of pay the man, the wage gap. An article just came out that I literally just read before we started this show. In the last Women's World Cup compared to the men's, each woman was paid 25 cents to the dollar of the male players in the World Cup, which is an improvement from their last World Cup, which was 9 cents to the dollar.
Oh, that's good.
So relegation, the gender wage gap.
Yeah. So what did the Women's World Cup even happen? I don't even know if it happened.
Yeah.
Was it this summer?
I definitely don't.
Yeah, I don't even know who won either, to be honest with you.
Spain won. Bonmati.
Spain won.
Spain won, yeah.
Because they had the whole controversy of the kiss.
Oh,
yeah.
Wait, what happened?
Yeah.
What happened with that?
The FIFA president, or was it the FIFA
No,
president?
it was Spain's.
Spanish,
Spain.
like football.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that.
Went in for a little smooch.
Yeah.
And you like refused to step down for like weeks.
That is a Chad move right there.
Yeah.
To refuse to I respect that.
And then his mom got involved too. Like, why are you guys treating my son this way and all this stuff? So it was a
Bro
big
pulled the
story.
mum card.
Oh man, but yeah. All right, Will. I know we're putting you on the spot here. We'll see if you can come.
Yeah,
up
yeah,
with
no,
something
that's fine. I've been thinking. So, my promotion is I was in Germany this weekend. I went to the Dusseldorf German show, Card Madness, and that was amazing. Like, I really recommend going to a European show, just because it's like a completely different atmosphere and everyone's so nice. And at the trade night, it was like free pizza and beer, like unlimited. So me and James had quite a few beverages, which is nice.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it was a great show. Met lots of cool people, and I bought like 1,400 singles. So yeah, it was profitable for us as well.
Nice.
I think my relegation is I mean, I don't really have any. I'm not traveling until February, so I'm stuck in the UK for like 2 months, just working and sort of hustling. But I guess it's December, so yeah. Burbank's my next traveling adventure.
How is the pizza in Dusseldorf? That's I'm very curious on that.
It was very thin. It was like a thin pizza.
Okay.
And also it was -3 degrees, and I had to wait outside for an hour for it. Because the queue was so long, so
Yeah.
I was genuinely like frozen. But I mean, it was free, and I'm like the biggest cheapskate in the whole world. So I was
I
like,
picked up on that at the National with all the whatnot merch and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I definitely picked up on that. This guy was fiending on all the.
Guy came with
whatnots.
one outfit, left with 6.
He was like doing like midday wardrobe changes. I'm like, where'd you get those whatnot socks? He's like, they're $2. I was like,
This is the crazy thing. I remember like the whatnot booth. They were doing like $2.90 or something for like shorts, and they were like, "Would you like a pair?" I was like, "Yeah, I'd like 10 pairs, please." And then they literally had to get permission from like the manager of the store because there was only like 11 left,
name, bro?
and I wanted to get 10. So yeah, I did pick up 10 and like put it in my suitcase. So yeah,
nice.
Wow.
Fair
Good
play.
stuff. It's always nicer when it's free or really cheap.
Oh,
I do have to admit
100%.
on that. Yeah.
100%. When you get a free T-shirt, you're like, this is literally just saved me £20.
True. That's very true.
What do you do transportation wise, like to like bring the cards back? 1,400 singles back to the UK. How do you just bring another suitcase empty, or like what's the game plan?
So we literally just left the country with a 4-row box, and it looked so suspicious when we literally went through security. We just had this massive box,
Huge box,
and they were like, "Open up the box," and then it was just loads of top loaders. And then the guy he was like, "Can I have a look?" And he picked out a card. It was like Ancala Messi, and he picked out a Messi card. It was like he was talking to me about football, and I was like, "Oh, thank God."
Yeah.
So I thought he was gonna like take it and like check the value. He was going to comp it and see that it was over the declared value. And I was going to
could you imagine? Wait, what did you take the train?
No, we took a plane.
Okay.
So you bribed him. You gave him a Messi card just to keep it moving.
I mean, he didn't take it. He put it back very nicely.
What'd you do with the 4-row box? Put it under your seat or put it in the overhead?
I put it in the overhead, yeah.
Yeah, that's got to be kind of weird. Those boxes are pretty big.
Oh, it was so heavy.
That must have been a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
you imagine the plane got a little turbulence action. The shit came out of the thing and fell all over the place. Oh
Yeah,
my
I'd
god,
be
what a
like,
shit show.
Yeah, no PSA 10s.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus. No.
Beautiful.
Sweet.
Episode 18. That was a fun one. Filled with some good laughs. Definitely going to have some good clips out of that one. If you've made it this far, throw it in the comments. Tell us who your Euro winner is going to be. But thank you guys for watching. Follow us Pitch.Masters on Instagram. And of course, follow Spacemuseumgram and Gorilla Breaks on Instagram. They are taking over the UK and eventually going to put Steve to bed in the singles industry.
Not a
Peace.
shot. No shot.